What's good, y'all? It's the one and only Nappy Ed Fred coming back to y'all with another album review of Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Linx. This is Raekwon's first studio album released August 1st, 1995 by Loud Records and RCA Records. So let's get into it. First song on this album is Knuckleheads featuring Ghostface Killah and You God. I thought this song was a dope intro just to start off the whole album. The production was very playful, but it definitely mixed well with all three of them on the track. Going into each verse, I feel like Raekwon's verse was definitely dope. Ghostface obviously did his thing. I'm kind of biased towards Ghostface because I think he's the best member out of the whole clan, but that's for another story for another day. And You God's verse was honestly the most underrated on this track. I feel like his verse was definitely the best on here. Definitely, like I said, a really dope song. It's really just about the lyrics. The production isn't really nothing too crazy, but I just feel like lyrics wise is very, very dope on here. And like I said, just a dope start to start off the album. Next song we got on here is Knowledge God. I thought this song was honestly pretty good. I was skeptical on the production a little bit because it I was trying to like catch up with it and just trying to understand it, but I feel like after a while it definitely was dope. The hook on here was honestly pretty catchy. Overall production was just really that gritty New York sound that I feel like fits Raekwon obviously because he wanted it to be more of a grittier, um just hardcore kind of album from like New York. So he definitely got that sound out of it. RZA on the production is obviously legendary, but I feel like even Raekwon's like flow on here was definitely dope. His cadence wasn't nothing too crazy, but lyricism to the pen was honestly just y'all know it. Raekwon's one of the best at it, so I mean there really ain't too much to comment on, but I do enjoy this song a lot. Next song we got on here is Criminology featuring Ghostface Killah. This is definitely one of my favorite tracks throughout the album. I just like how the production is so cinematic, but yet gets into that hardcore like New York sound from back in the day that I think instantly just gets you to nod your head and be like, man, this beat is tight. So the production I enjoyed a lot, but even going into the lyrics, I felt like Raekwon and Ghostface was just super aggressive on here, didn't slow down for nothing. They felt hungry, like basically. So they were just very aggressive on here, which I really like. So I like their flow throughout the track. Their just cadence overall was really good, and there just really ain't nothing to complain about with this song. I just like how hardcore it is, really. Next song we got on here is Incarcerated Surfaces. I thought this song, personally, one of my favorites once again. This song was definitely a dope listen. The production definitely caught my attention right away. I like how simple it is without adding too much to it. I feel like it was the right limit of like any kind of instruments or any kind of like sample they could have thrown in there. I feel like they made it a perfect song overall. The flow of Raekwon was honestly really good. I like the hook. I thought the hook was very catchy, and just his overall like grittiness to the track I feel like really elevated the song in general. So like I said, it's definitely one of my favorites. I would say this is one of the more popular songs on the album as well. And definitely a dope listen. Next song we got on here is Rainy Days featuring Ghostface Killah and Blue Raspberry. Whew, this song is incredible. I love this song a lot. It's obviously one of my favorite songs on the whole album, but just digging into the song, the production was so good. I love the production. The beginning part, I was kind of like, okay, where's this production leading to? Like, where is it going? But once they had that sample mix, I was like, dude, I'm sold. I love the production just right away. It has kind of that I don't know how to describe because I'm not that good with knowing instruments, but it just had a really good sound to it that was just very mellow and just had a good beat type. But even going into the lyrics, man, the lyrics on here were hard by Ghostface. I love Ghostface just approach. Like he approaches each track so like aggressive and just he's not slowing down for nothing. Like he just approached it aggressive as he could, and he sounded very good on it. And obviously Raekwon on this track killed it. Even Blue Raspberry, even on the hook, I thought was a unique part about the track that I think elevated it even more. I could talk about this track forever, but definitely one of probably top three songs of like Raekwon's like I wouldn't say catalog because I haven't heard his whole catalog yet, but man, this song is really hard to beat, so it's definitely one of my favorites for sure. Next song we got on here is Guillotine featuring Ghostface Killer, Expect a Deck, and Jizza, the Genius. I thought this song was definitely dope. This is definitely one of the rare occasions where you don't get everybody from Wu Tang on this track, but you get kind of a small sample size, and I think it's a rare occasion. But I feel like the beat was definitely dope. It definitely sounded like it came off of a movie, so I love the sample of it. It definitely just gives kind of that like fighting scene kind of production to it. Like it just sounds like something that should be on like Street Fighter of like background music or something like that, if that makes any sense. But I feel like each verse of everybody did very well. Might be biased, but Jizza had the better verse on here because he's just lyrically just insane on here. So I definitely enjoyed his verse, and everybody basically did their part. Nobody like misled it or misspoken anything. But overall, this song is overwhelming if you're not big on lyrical rap. So maybe listen at your own risk, I would say. But like overall, lyrically, everybody did well, especially Jizza. Next song we got on here is Can It All Be So Simple remix featuring Ghostface Killer. Um, I'm gonna just say this right away. I have a really big hot take, but I feel like Raekwon's verse and Ghostface Killer's verse was so much better than the first Can It All Be So Simple on the original Wu Tang 36 Chambers. That's just my take though, because I feel like the production, I get what they were trying to do with it. They were trying to like reverse it and make it sound a little different. I feel like the production was okay, but I do wish Ghostface Killer and Raekwon's verse on this particular song was on the first one, and that would have killed it completely. Because, like I said, hot take again, but I think their verses is just better than the ones that was on the first one. Maybe not Raekwon's verse because I feel like Raekwon's verse was better on the first one, but Ghostface Killer's verse on here is insane. It definitely should have been on the first one, but um this song is kind of difficult, but I do like it a lot. I do go back and listen to it a little more often, but I just that was my hot take on the whole song. So hopefully I didn't confuse y'all too much, but I actually do enjoy the song a lot. Next song we got on here is Ice Water featuring Ghostface Killer and Capadonna. I definitely enjoyed this song a lot. This song to me, well, before I dig into what I think about it, getting into the production, I feel like the production was very underrated. I enjoyed the production a lot. I like the sampling of like whoever was in the background. I don't know who it is, but he sounded good in the background as a sample. Pause if I needed to say that. But I feel like, man, this, I'm sorry, but Ghostface is like, man, Ghostface is so raw. Like Ghostface just has such a aggressive flow that just he can match the energy right away, and it's just so rare to hear that from a lot of artists. So his verse is honestly really good. I feel like even Capadonna's verse was honestly really solid, and obviously Ray killed it for the most part. just overall, this song is very dope, and I feel like it's very underrated. I don't think many people pay attention to this song that often. I don't know why, but I definitely think this is a dope song. Next song we got on here is Glaciers of Ice featuring Ghostface Killer and Master Killer. Sorry if I stuttered at the beginning. I needed to catch myself. I feel like this song was definitely dope as well. It took me a minute to kind of enjoy it because like I didn't feel like any of their verses really matched the beat, but listening to it more and more, I was like, okay, I definitely can vibe with it a little more. I feel like Master Killer had a really dope verse. Pretty underrated member when we talk about Wu Tang members. I feel like he's pretty underrated as well, as far as just the whole group. But I feel like each verse was definitely solid. They laid it down. Flow wise was amazing. Um, there really ain't too much to complain about. I feel like the production alone, again, just gives you that gritty sound that I feel like anybody back then was really enjoying, and shoot, even anybody today would still enjoy it. Next song we got on here is Verbal Intercourse featuring Raekwon and Ghostface Killer, and it should also feature Nas since, anyways, Nas definitely had the best verse on here. That might be biased, but when I heard Nas, I was like, wait, Nas is on this song, and I didn't see him in the feature, so I'm like, what the heck? But Nas's verse was definitely just perfect for this kind of beat, this kind of production. So I feel like the production was definitely mellow, but simple at the same time, to the point where it just made sense for Nas to just kill it on this song. But I feel like everybody else definitely did could, like Raekwon and them, but Nas is just he's on another like tier list if I'm being honest, and that might be to my bias, but I feel like everyone definitely did their part. The beat was very mellow, so it wasn't nothing too crazy, but overall I feel like this song is somewhat underrated just because Nas isn't really featured on here as a title. If Nas was featured on here as a title, I feel like it'd get more views and more likes, and people would know, like, dang, he made a song with Raekwon. So I don't know what's up with that, but I definitely feel like this is a dope song. Next song we got on here is Wisdom Body featuring Ghostface Killer. I thought this song was definitely dope. The production sampling was amazing. I liked how there was just like, I don't know if it was a whistle in the background or whatever, but the sampling was flat out amazing. It took a while for Ghostface to catch up with the beat, but I feel like after like maybe 30 seconds of the song, he definitely was able to catch up and just keep up with the beat. So he flowed very well throughout the track, besides like the beginning part, but like throughout the rest of the track, he definitely flowed very well. His cadence was cool. His approach was well put together, and I feel like this is definitely one of my favorite songs throughout the album. So definitely underrated, and you should check it out. Next song we got on here is Spot Rushers. Um, I feel like this song was cool. The production I feel like was okay. I don't feel like it was that bad. I feel like it was okay. But Raekwon's verse on here was definitely raw. Like I liked his verse a lot. I liked his cadence on here. It was definitely different compared to a lot of the other songs on this track. But I just feel like I don't know, the production just didn't really match the energy of Raekwon like I wanted it to. Like it was just kind of more thrown in there. But overall, I feel like it's kind of a gritty sound, but just not for Raekwon. I feel like a beat like this should belong to, let me think, someone like Old Dirty Bastard. Like I feel like he'd be really good on this beat, which I feel like he Loki should have featured him on this, and it would have sounded way better. But overall, I feel like this song is definitely still dope. I just like Raekwon's verse more than I like the production, if that makes any sense. Next song we got on here is Ice Cream featuring Ghostface Killer, Method Man, and Capadonna. Definitely one of the more popular songs on this album. It's definitely one of my favorite songs. Getting into the production, I feel like was very ahead of its time. I'm gonna just say that right now. The production is really fresh for a 1995 kind of production. So RZA definitely killed it on this beat. Everybody's verse was definitely, I mean, amazing. Um, Overall, I'm trying to think because I feel like the hook was definitely catchy. You know, Method Man describing like what kind of ice cream he likes, which is basically what kind of girl he likes. If y'all catch my drift, like, or if y'all catch his drift, basically that's what he was talking about throughout the song. So basically talking about the different flavor of ice creams he likes, which means he's talking about the different flavor of woman he likes. I think y'all get the point of the song. But I feel like one of the things to take away from this is I guess Raekwon didn't really like the production on here because it didn't sound gritty enough for his album. But I think he's grown to like it more over the years. So I think he enjoys it a lot more now. But I feel like this song is definitely dope though. I enjoy the different kind of production anyway. So it definitely is one of the better songs on the album. Next song I have on here is Wu Gambino's featuring uh gosh, Raekwon, Ghostface Killer, Method Man, and Master Killer. Like I said, one of the rare occasions where you almost get all of the Wu-Tang members on one song. Um I feel like this song was definitely dope. The production definitely fit well with everybody's flow on here. Method Man's part was insane though. I mean, punchline heavy. I enjoyed his verse a lot, and I feel like everybody else did their part. Don't get me wrong, but Method Man's part was definitely, I mean, killed it, killed it. But I think overall this song is definitely dope. I wouldn't say underrated because I mean it definitely gets the praise it deserves, but I do feel like it kind of gets overlooked compared to a lot of the other songs on here. So definitely deserves a little more credit than maybe the other songs. Next song we got on here is Heaven and Oh, I almost said it. I almost said it. Y'all know it. Featuring Ghostface Killer. Um I enjoyed this song a lot. It's definitely one of the better storytelling songs throughout the album. I feel like it definitely has a good message overall. Just basically letting you know, like, where we're at right now is the HELL, and, you know, there's a heaven above that we're just not really aware of. So basically, Raekwon describing that I thought was really dope. And even the production, I feel like definitely fit well with what they were saying throughout the song. And whoever was on the hook, I don't know her name, but she sounded really good on the hook overall. And I feel like this is definitely one of the more underrated songs because I feel like when we talk about the grittiest songs, we listen to those a little more because that's more Raekwon style. But I do feel like this song definitely needs more attention as well because it has a good message behind it. The last song on this album is North Star. Um, to end the track off like this, I feel like it was kind of mid for the most part. I think he should have ended it on Heaven or, you know, the HELL. But overall, I feel like the song is okay. The production was really just overpowered. I could barely hear any of the lyrics that Raekwon was even saying in this song. So it was kind of overpowering and a little too much instruments that just it was just so much. I was like, what the heck is even going on? So overall, I feel like this song was okay. I really don't go back to this song often, if I'm being honest. Not the best outro to end the album off of, but I would just say it's okay for the most part. But it is time to get to the final thoughts. My final thoughts of this album is this is definitely amazing. I enjoyed this album a lot. And really, for a first time listen, around this month because I just listened to it for the first time around this month. Was just so dope. The production was amazing. The lyrical ability of Raekwon was also amazing, and even featuring Ghostface Killer throughout the whole album, I think was the best choice for this album. It's not to say if Ghostface was off of this album would be trash, but he definitely elevated the album even more with probably one of his best verses throughout like his whole catalog, you could say, or arguably his whole catalog. But I feel like this album definitely set the tone when it comes to solo catalogs from each member of Wu Tang. Definitely one of the better albums I've heard from Wu Tang, just overall. And Raekwon definitely did his thing when he wanted that gritty, grimy New York style production that I feel like is kind of underrated because I do enjoy that production a lot. And I feel like he took it to the next level with this album. And even the features throughout this album, obviously, it's no surprise that he featured the likes of like Method Man and Master Killer and You God and just Wu Tang members in general. That's no surprise, but I feel like their performance was honestly really, really good. Definitely one of the better performance albums from Wu Tang that I've ever heard, and it definitely stands the test of time as well because I was worried going into this album that it would sound a little outdated, especially production wise. But I feel like it holds up very, very well, and to me is an instant classic, especially when it comes to the lyrical ability. Like some of the lyrics that they were saying were definitely ahead of its time, and I feel like doesn't get enough credit overall. And like I said, just a really dope listen, and there's nothing more I can say. Just I love this album, and I could talk about it all day, but I enjoyed this album a lot, really. With all that being said, because I'm about to lose my voice, I'm giving this album a 10 out of 10. That will conclude today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, like, subscribe, and comment down below what other albums y'all want me to listen to. Also, click the link down in the description for all my social medias. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later.